Welcome to the 420 Buzz with your hosts Vincent, Squatch, and Curtis Kindbud, featuring the MeLLa Girls. And now, here's Squatch.
How's everyone doing? Thank you for coming down to the 420 Buzz tonight. Some names have been changed to protect the innocent. Went into a television store today. I told the gentleman, I'd like to buy the television set that's in your front window. He says, I don't sell things to potheads. I said, how do you know I'm a pothead? He didn't say anything, turned around. So, a little bit later tonight, I went back there, and I'd clean myself up, comb my hair, make sure I didn't smoke anything, change my shirt. I said, I would like to buy this television that's in your window. He says, I don't sell things to potheads. I said, how do you know what potheads is? My long hair? He says, no, because that's not a television, it's a microwave. I'd like to introduce the MeLLa Girls. Laureen.
Hey, Squatch.
Good to see you.
Good to see
and
you.
Julz. All right.
Ooh. Here you go. Here, I got some for you. There you go. All right.
Didn't mean to leave you hanging. All right. We're going to have a lot of things going on tonight. Our first thing I want to talk about is March 16th. We're having a city council meeting in Clear Lake, California, for those of you in Clear Lake, California. And we'll be talking about the marijuana moratorium, the cannabis moratoriums for the 3 cannabis clubs that are in Clear Lake. This is going to be a decision by the city council to hear public comment, so let your public comment be heard. That's on March 16th at the corner of Lakeshore and Olympic.
What time?
It'll be at 6:30. Thank you for asking.
We want to be there.
To a great reggae show last night. It was for Doctors Without Borders in Ukiah, California. And Rootstock played. Great reggae band. Great reggae band. They raised a lot of money, and this is for people and doctors to go to Haiti and Chile.
Wow.
And different places where they've had, any disasters. Also, they go to countries where they don't offer health care for people. And in Haiti, there's over 500,000 children that are homeless right now because of the disaster. So they really need a lot of help with doctors. And this raised a lot of money, and they had tamale dinner for people, and it was a great time.
I heard the band was really awesome.
Yeah, Rootstock, amazing.
Yeah.
They played original music. One of the drummers from Clear Lake, California.
Yay. Do you remember his name?
I don't.
But hey,
Rock
Clear
and
Lake
roll,
drummers rock,
Rootstock.
I'm just saying.
And they played originals and covers. They played for about 3 hours. And I danced my socks off. Actually, danced myself right out of my shoes.
Wow. Interesting.
I was into my socks. So, when you take your shoes off and you're down to your socks. And Sister T split her shoe dancing.
Yeah, I heard she was really getting down.
Also, speaking of music, earlier in the day we were at KMEC radio station where Sister T, Laureen, and I all had a show.
Radio show, yeah.
The Bridge radio show.
The Bridge is Sister T. She's on from 9 a.m. to noon, and she does environmental stuff and transition community stuff. Really great show. Awesome music, by the way. And so that's from 9 to noon, and then from noon to 2, that's my slot, and I have a words and music show, poetry, different interesting literary selections, and
a very positive message.
Yes, very positive message, and great music as well, and local artists whenever we can get them to stop in. So that's really, really fun. And then at the 2 o'clock hour, that's just the most exciting part of the whole week there over at KMEC Radio, where Vincent Squatch has his 420 Buzz radio show, and the Lake Mendo 420 News. Yeah.
Thank you. And I do jokes on there also and talk, like I do here, but also play crazy music. Like yesterday I went Living Color, Grateful Dead, Spice Girls.
Wow.
You know, that was just like, people were just like,
impressive,
called me and were like going, dude, did you just play that
The
all
Spice
triple in a row? Like,
Dead.
like, wow.
You know what I love about your show, Squatch? There's a lot of things I love about your show. You keep people informed on the TV and the radio and everything. And I may be a little bit biased, but I know that sometimes on your radio show you do a dedication or a shout out to the MeLLa girls.
I do.
Which is me and Julz. And you play a lot of the songs, the original versions of some of the songs that we would have played the night before on Friday night when you stopped into our jams.
Correct.
So that's cool. And so we get a nice variety of stuff that way, because we kind of are all over the place sometimes too.
Let's see. Yesterday, Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
Which is on here, say.
Oh my gosh, you guys should totally hear
Instrumental
Julz sing that
Little
song.
Wing.
Am
which
I
is
kidding?
One of my
There's
favorites
another
they
one.
do.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else? There was.
Something the Dead, I think.
No, it was a.
AC/DC.
Yeah, it was AC/DC.
AC/DC, yeah, when we did those 3 AC/DC
Yeah.
songs.
AC/DC.
JD was there. Yeah, Cannabis, JD. Woohoo!
Actually, they haven't done this song. I think I've maybe, dreamt them playing this song, and that's why I played it. But it's there's gonna be some rockin', which is off of Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
Oh, yeah.
I could visualize them playing it.
No
I
way.
think that's
Yeah,
Not us.
that might be fun.
all right. And we're gonna have a guest tonight. Our guest is Dr. Dank.
Oh yeah.
Dr. Dank will be joining us here
Oh, is the
soon.
doctor in?
Doctor, is the doctor
Is
in?
the doctor in? Is there a doctor in the
All
house?
right. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Pretty happy, I love you.
Right.
Sorry.
Dr. Dank, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk about clones, hydroponics, and indica.
Okay.
All right. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, the cloning process actually starts with finding yourself a good mother, whether that be a clone that you buy from a club or from a friend or whatever that's a guaranteed female, or sprouting your own seed and finding your own female of the strain that you'd like. So really, to talk about clones, we almost need to start with mother plants and how to raise up the mother plants. And the basic draw to that is just vegging your plants out. And you can do that indoor or outdoor in a greenhouse. To veg a plant, all you need is more than 16, 17 hours of light. Average growers like 18 hours of light for indoor or in your greenhouse or anything. If you want to stay vegging your plants through the winter time outdoors, use a greenhouse, add some lights, keep your veg going. But once you have your veg up and you take your clones, it's more or less just topping the plant over and over and over. And you actually have to, in order to create a good mother, you have to be able to cut that mother in a certain way that it grows in a pattern so that you can keep pulling clones off of it. And it doesn't stress the plant out, because if you stress that mother, your clones are stressed, which lowers your weights and everything else. So,
I knew that.
And how would you pick a mother? Let's say I had like 12 different plants and I wanted to choose a mother out of those 12 plants. What would I look for?
If you did like a seed stock where you took a bunch of seeds, sprouted them off, grew them up, took clones, you'd want to watch, you'd look for what you prefer, like sativas are long and stretchy, they go for the roof. So you're going to want something that's growing fast, so you look at your sea of green, which is a cluster of plants, and you see which one's going the fastest. So like the indica, you want something that's growing rapidly. You pull a couple clones off of each plant and actually flower them out. Check your flower times, check your weights, check your product potency, everything like that. And that's how you pick your mother plant, is the plant that gave you the best clones, that gave you the best product. You want to keep that one as the mother, keep taking them clones. Like, if you're looking for size, color, like I do indicas, which are generally all your purples and everything like that are indica. There are some skunks out there that are indica. There are some that are sativa, but it depends on like Hawaiian skunk or Afghani skunk, different parts of the world. So the genetics come from everywhere.
And cannabis is a great thing because it'll grow in any continent. It's one of the grass, it's renewable. Every year it can renew itself in almost any climate.
Well, yeah, if you let it seed out and everything, but when you let a plant seed out through flower or anything, if you have MeLLa plants, it really lowers your potency and everything. But that's the only way to breed to get your seed stock. There's tricks and stuff like using bags and growing up your MeLLa indoor and cutting it when it makes pollen inside of a bag, freezing it, and then just taking like Q-tips and stuff and seeding out certain buds on a plant to get your seeds to cross genetics. And that's how you come up with like the newer age genetics, like purple diesel, which is purple kush crossed with sour diesel. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. It gives you the best of both worlds. It absolutely gives you the best of both worlds.
Because you have
Some girls in it.
You have the fast-growing sativa along with the short indica, so people can have it in a room, so it's not going to grow 12 or 14 feet tall.
That's right. But you just want to find your strain to cut off of. It really depends on what you want to grow. There's a lot of strains that like come from Europe and everything. That's the best place to study from is European tactics and everything. It's all the way across the continent over there. I mean, we're like the last in the trade in the United States. It's like we got so much catching up to do. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be buying our seeds from Holland.
Right.
They'd be buying them from us.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's excellent breeders up here in Northern California, like the guys that came together with the Mendo Perps. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I love the Mendo Perps straight out of Mendo. Humboldt County Tie, that was hot 20, 25 years ago. I remember that, the Humboldt County Tie. The whole world went nuts over it. Remember? It's great.
They even have strains in Italy, like my relative that lives over there, they have a strain called Avudanza scarvenza, which means abundant daredevil. And this stuff is like the European green crack, supposedly, where it's just like one hit and through. And, those are the type of things that I yearn for as a cannabis connoisseur, is to have that type of thing, because I have lung problems. So if I have to keep smoking it, if I can have one hit and that's going to do me for 4 or 5 hours, I'm good with it.
That's right. But that actually has to do with potency, and from a grower's perspective, your better potencies are coming from your lower weight plants, because you're actually able to condense it down, and like indoor growers will do a sea of green instead of having a plant that's 4 or 5 foot tall. Well, some growers we do it that way, but a lot of growers you just keep them 14, 16 inches tall and get that soda can on top. Absolute high potency, beautiful. It gets more than enough food because it's so small. The bigger the plant, the more it has to reach. Like I knew a friend that did some orange crush up in the hills around the lake from here about 4 years ago, and I went out and I looked at his buds, and he's a real big guy, a little bigger than you, and his buds were bigger than his calves. I mean, 8, 9, absolutely phenomenal. But I remembered after it was cured out, I mean, you could go like this and make joints. I mean, it just came apart, I mean, it just didn't keep that stickiness, and it didn't have a lot
really
of
fluffy.
crystals. Yeah, real fluffy,
yeah.
But those are production growers. Those ain't real medical growers.
A lot of times they blow out their strains that way too. What they like,
Exactly.
get into what the California no-high is, they'll call it.
Exactly.
They'll blow their strains out.
They're going for quantity over quality, because, and really, this is all about medicine and everything, to make people well, to keep people well, and to improve the quality of life. I mean, that's what cannabis does. I don't care if you're 13 years old smoking a joint. If it's making you feel good, it's improving the quality of your life. And being able to take responsibility for your actions and everything goes a long way too.
Definitely.
It really is a medicine. Like cancer patients, AIDS patients, car wreck, everything.
I have a lung problem of all things, and it helps me. I have a fibrosis in my lungs since my birth, and it helps me. When I don't use it, they give me this chamber to use, and I can only get the ball about this high up, but I use cannabis and I can get it past the red line.
That's right.
Which is what an average human being can do, so it takes me back
Are we
normal.
supposed to be obnoxious when we're supposed to speak up? I
Yeah, I'm sorry.
trying.
I'm sorry, Julz. I'm
I
sorry.
have a question about
Yes, ma'am.
properly cutting back a plant as it grows to keep
Right.
it small.
Right.
Say you have no plant and you're starting.
Well,
and what do you do to keep it small and not from ruining it?
Okay, well, your plant's going to grow up in one shoot. Well, that center shoot, you're going to want to let your plant, I prefer to get them up about 3 foot tall, and then I cut it in half. And I take the whole top half and I make little plants out of it. You just keep cutting it down. I wish I had a plant here to show you, but maybe next time. But you get it up, you cut it in half. Your bottom branches actually give you better rooting clones out of the bottom plants rather than the tops. The very top with the fat stick running through it, pretty much just throw it away or set it somewhere, because it's probably going to take you about a month to root it out, because it's the top. It's used to being able to get all that food. And, you just want to keep training that plant up so that it won't look like a Christmas tree anymore. You don't want a Christmas tree. You want a ball. You want to just keep cutting it and pruning it in and pruning it in. And every time you make a cut, of course, it makes the V as it regrows and everything. So you just want to keep balling that
So
plant
where
out.
should you cut a branch? Where would the proper place to cut a branch be?
Well, you would follow the branch, you'd find the top on the branch, and you'd follow it down to the next growth coming off of it, and you'd want to cut at an angle right there.
At the top of it?
Yeah, right at the top of it, so that next growth, that continues on, and that actually will sprout out and go different directions. The first several cuts that you make off of that center stalk are really important, because those become your branches that come out, so you don't want to go all the way to the stalk and cut the branches off. You want to stop about halfway down. Just pull yourself the top off of the branch all the way around.
And you do that over and over, so you're kind of bonsaiing it, basically.
Basically,
Yeah.
and you just train it into a ball.
Yeah.
Once you get into doing it, and you remember what I say and everything, and you cut it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Your plant will respond. You never want to take more than about 40% off. I know a lot of people will take about 60% off, but like I said, if you stress that mother plant out, you'll stress your clones. You don't want to stress clones. You don't ever want to cut your clones if your plant is stressed at all, from bug damage, too much food, too much light, burn light, any of that thing. You don't want to cut your plants at them times. Around here in Northern California, a good time to put your clones out is around May 27th. Stick your clones out. It'll start growing up. After about 2 or 3 weeks of being out there, probably going to be a big ball, of growth. And you can start taking clones off of that. And once you have those rooted out, in Oasis cubes, or just sticking them into a dirt pack or something like that. Some people use rooting gels and everything.
We got an email about that. They said to use the gel or the powder would be the best.
Well, yeah, there's what it really is what you really want to do